Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends. Welcome to JCB Live Happy Hour. Today we're going to go to Los Angeles to one of my close friends, Meridith May, one of the most amazing lady in the world of wine publishing, lifestyle, and hospitality. She has created one of the most incredible company and one of the very rare success, not only as a woman in the publishing world, but as well, of course, in the wine world. So we're going to hear all about this incredible story. She was a fantastic radio host and very successful in the world of radio. And I just learned she was the only lady monster truck driver professional in the history of the United States. She has gorgeous red hair. She's Francophile. She's very charming. Are you ready to be seduced? I am. Here she is, Meridith May.
Hello. Hello.
Meridith, bonsoir. Cheers.
Bonsoir, and I'm so happy to be with you.
I know, Meridith, but I'm going to have a toast, first of all, to your fabulous personality and success.
I'll drink to that.
Yes, but Meridith, few minutes ago, I heard, and you've had secrets in spite of our friendship all those years. Tell us about the monster truck driver and what is that all about?
Well, it started because I was in radio. I was working for KISS FM radio in Los Angeles, and I was married to somebody else who was a motorsport promoter. And he was starting to develop monster trucks for different clients. So I sold a sponsorship to AM/PM mini markets, and they said they'll give me $1 million if I drive the truck. This was when I was young. I was very young and kind of, pretty and all that. So I agreed, and they built a truck especially for me called the Boss, the AM/PM Boss, and I drove it in competition on weekends. I was vice president of marketing for KISS FM at the time. Probably the only college-educated monster truck driver as well. But
I cannot believe it. So Meridith, mention to everyone, what's your height?
5'2.5".
So 5'2", that irresistible redhead, charming lady, 5'2", driving a truck, and we're going to show a picture because this is brilliant. That enormous truck. So how big is that truck in height?
Well, the tires themselves are 6 foot tall. So I would climb up the treads of the tires to get up there. It's great exercise for my hips. But the truck was, probably twice as that, 12, 13 foot high, something like that.
But this is brilliant. So forgive me for those questions. I know we want to talk wine and your history as well, but what do you do in those super fancy 6 foot wheel truck?
You drive over cars, and they're not built for speed. They're built for power, 1,300 horsepower. Just you line up the tires and then you rev it and you go up in the air over the cars and then you land. I hated it. I hated every minute of it, but boy, did I like the money.
Well, I can imagine that. But so you would basically destroy cars. And what's the goal of that competition?
You race against another truck in a stadium. So you're side by side racing over the cars. So whoever gets there first.
And did you win destroying a lot of those cars?
I won just about all the time. The only time I did not win was at Anaheim Stadium against Bigfoot. He was unbeatable.
Really? That's incredible. Well, forgive me. Let's have another toast to that one.
All right, this time I'm going to have some Raymond Chardonnay.
Absolutely. This is great. Well, we'll do Raymond Chardonnay. Well, tell us what you think about the wines, because you are the wine lady.
Well, the JCB Brut, just on the nose itself, just think about mango. I mean, it's got kind of tropical, but it's also got some honeyed flowers. And on the palate, it goes a little bit leaner, and there's almost a little bit of salinity with some lemon sorbet. Yummy.
I've never heard that on the description of the 21. I love it. Lemon sorbet.
Mm.
How do you say that in French, Meridith? Tell me with your French accent.
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me dit tu te bats, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit les mots amour, les mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. So that's how I feel about it.
I'm dancing with you. Wow. I know you're a singer as well.
I just love that song.
Well, this is the magical song.
Yes.
Piaf is the queen of the queen, isn't she? But Meridith, so as you describe the Chardonnay, if you wish, or whenever you wish,
Yeah.
you know, you were in the radio business. How was that life? And was your passion to start something else? How did that work? Because vice president of marketing for Kiss FM, major channel, incredible station, you were very successful. So what made you take another path?
Well, this was back in the day. I mean, we're going back to the 80s. Yeah. And I worked with Rick Dees and met a lot of people in the restaurant industry because Rick was a foodie. And so we would meet all these great Los Angeles chefs like Michel Richard and Bernard Jacopi and restaurant owners and chefs. And we would go back in the kitchen and they would prepare meals and start giving me some wines. So I kind of got interested that way. And I was behind the scenes. So as VP of marketing, then I did the promotions and worked to promote the DJs. But I always wanted to have a magazine. When I was 12 years old, I used to write to my sister who was going to UC Berkeley, and I used to send her these little fake magazines that I would write, little satire. And I just always had a dream. So take the wine, the food, the marketing, and you kind of put it together, and I was able to get a job at a magazine called Patterson's Beverage Journal. Do you remember that?
Of course.
And then I bought it. And
well, that's a pretty cool evolution, isn't it?
Yeah, I partnered with Anthony Dias Blue, who I have recently just bought out. So now I own it outright, and then bought Somm Journal a few years after that.
Wow, big deal. But before you went into radio, there's a very interesting aspect of you. You wanted to be something else.
When I was a kid, when I was a little, when I was in my early teens, I wanted to be the girl from Uncle, the secret agent.
and then you abandoned that dream, or you decided to take another path?
That was just a childhood fantasy. Yeah.
So now, what advice do you have for all our friends with us listening? Because it seems obviously that you followed your passion.
Yeah, I followed my passion. I thought I liked to write, but it's not about the writing. It's about working with people like you and coming up with ideas to promote the wine industry. It's very important. We want to sell wine. We deal with the trade. We deal with the beverage buyers. So to me, I feel like I'm helping the captains of industry. That's my goal, through connecting them with the gatekeepers. Rather than being a consumer magazine where, I don't know, the consumers, they love their wine and they're passionate, but the industry, as you know, has a even deeper passion.
Absolutely.
And knowledge. Yeah.
So what inspires you to run this amazing empire of magazine towards the hospitality world?
I think it's being around savvy people, being around people who know business and we all have the same goal, to perpetuate wine loving and drinking responsibly. I had to say that. To perpetuate the cause. And that's what's so sad about what's going on now with the pandemic, is our restaurateurs are hurting, our sommeliers are hurting. So now we're campaigning to tell everyone in the industry who's been laid off or changed jobs, we want to send the magazines to your home free of charge. So
Wow.
we upped our circulation quite a bit, because now we're sending the magazine to anybody who requests it, who qualifies as in the hospitality industry.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's very generous. Talking about the pandemic, how did you, in the publishing world, live through it, in fact?
Well, the day that we were all told to leave our office and work from home, we did it. And my top people are all over, scattered all over the world. I've got writers in Scotland and France and Australia. And of course, my major people are in New York, Denver, and San Francisco. So it was easy. I mean, the sad part is I have to pay 2 years of rent on a beautiful office in Encino, but
Are you going to go back to that office?
I think when the lease is up, no. I think I'll have maybe a little office that will have, receive mail and do some banking and stuff. But no, I love working from home, and I just want the restaurants to get back.
Yeah, for sure. Now, on the working habits, do you think, not only in publishing, of course, where you write and you create, do you feel we got to really move into this new pattern of life now that we've been doing it for 8 months and people are getting so used to it that it's going to be a new norm?
Yeah, I do. I think commercial real estate is going to continue to drop. I just heard that a major mall in the US is going to be transformed into a big retirement home. I think there's going to be new ways of creating these office buildings for some other reason. But we still need, as human beings, we still need to get out there, and we still need to have a meeting place. And that's what restaurants and our retail stores are for. They need to exist. We can't just buy stuff online and order takeout for the rest of our lives.
Well, how do you see, for you who is on the forefront, and I think all of us are very interested to know, on the forefront of news and trends, where do you see the world of hospitality going, though? Is there a new form of hospitality that will emerge from this?
No, I think, if anything, a realization of how much more we need it. I went to La Quinta Resort a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was my first foray back into a hotel. And even though we had to wear masks, it was wonderful. It was wonderful to see people enjoying themselves and eating outside and just being in that atmosphere. And I miss traveling, and I'm sure everyone does. So no, I don't think it's going to change. I think we'll be more grateful and more hopefully take part in the hospitality industry more once we're allowed to.
Do you see the menus or the drinks type changing, becoming more casual and maybe less 3-star, 2-star Michelin type of establishment, or you think they'll, in that world, will come back as before?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't even thought about that. Oh boy, I guess it depends on the people who were so used to going to places like Le Bernardin or Le Toc. It's what you are used to, how much money you have to spend on it. I don't think it should change. It's different for everybody. Everybody's preferences are so different. I like a certain style. You like a certain style. We're too different for there to just to be casual. I think that would be very sad.
Well, you spent a lot of time in Europe and in France, obviously, specifically as your French is phenomenal. Do you see, I've noticed, and I'd love your opinion on this, a big evolution towards people wanting to receive more at home, as we do in Europe. Come to my house for a drink or come for one dish, without having to be too complicated, and people daring to do that more. In the past, I didn't see it as much in the US. It seems people are really more willing, in other words, to receive in their own house, in their own comfort.
That's what I've been doing carefully. I have been entertaining my small group of friends or family in our backyard, or whatever would feel safe in the house. Yes. but that's only because of the restrictions. I love meeting people at restaurants and dining out. So I know I'm pro dining out.
For sure. No, absolutely. You and I, we love and the interaction and the discovery and the culture of what we discover when we go to different food and different origins. We travel through restaurants all around the world. Thank God.
Right. We base our business, your business and my business on that. So I have to be one-sided there.
So, Meridith, you were named one of the most influential lady in the wine world, actually top 15. So raise my glass again to your success.
Okay, this time I'm going to taste the Raymond.
Yes, do. And tell us, how does it feel? And how would you recommend to more ladies as well daring to do what you've done, which is really exceptional?
Well, I think maybe a little bit of courage, because it didn't take money. You know, I was fortunate that I was able to work out a deal on the tasting panel, since I bought it from my former boss, who owned it, who was a printer. He didn't know anything about our industry. So I guess it's if it's not about having a sugar bank account of some kind, you know, having some kind of
sugar daddy?
No, sugar daddy. No, I don't believe in that. No, sugar.
I wasn't sure.
A sugar savings. I almost went there, but no, I'm never rely on the man, right? I do it on my own. I think if you don't have the money, whether it's a family inheritance or whatever you get the money from, it's a matter of making deals with people and knowing how. It's best not to take on a partner, and you know, I was lucky to have a good partner who had nothing to do with the money side, but it's about making connections and working hard and selling, you know, just like your sales team. That's how we put food on the table and pages in the magazine. You know, we've got
I love it. And you are one of the most creative in the business. I mean, give us some example of how you build your magazine, because again, the world of publishing is certainly not the easiest over the last 20 years, specifically growth of internet, digital media.
That's right.
You've done it in a very, very traditional, you know, magazine way, not traditional way of doing it. So give us some examples.
Right. Well, when I started in 2007, print started going away, and the industry told me, no, we want this magazine in our hand. We want something solid to touch. And we started at a small circulation and then quadrupled it within a year, going national. And with the help of our distributor friends and our wine friends and our spirit brands friends, everybody kind of helped us just build and build. And the fact that our business model, we're free to the industry, helps too, because I didn't have to rely on subscriptions. So we are advertising dollars.
Yeah.
But to be creative, you have to say yes a lot to people, and you have to come up with ideas beyond selling ads. Nobody wants to just run an ad in a magazine. You have to connect with your feature articles. So we go out and we talk to the Somms and have them give testimonials about this floral cab. I mean, oh my gosh. And so they would say what they love about it, what their chef would pair about it. And we take custom photos, do custom articles. We just partnered with National Geographic, because we can't do events, to do a series of monthly webinars that are reaching their consumer audience and our trade audience. It's a great marriage. We need to get you on one of those.
I'm delighted. And you know what we've done together as an illustration of your creativity with Sommelier magazine, in this amazing wine we're tasting, you know, the Somm Select, where we bring Sommelier, and every year we have you with us, and you see all those top Somms blending and creating this wonderful wine with the parameters of the trade, so a certain price by the glass and etc. And you know, you document it, you talk about it, you instill in the Somm the willingness to do it. So this is a great example, right?
Because we are their voice, so we want them forefront in the magazine. We want the wine buyers ever present And we loved being part of your event. And I just got to say something. Now I'm getting this chocolate cherry thing that's happening on top of this sandalwood and this beautiful like coffee cedar almost. Just everything's happening in this glass. This Raymond cab is wonderful.
You make me want to drink it even more.
Ooh.
Such a great vocabulary. And I love the fact that you're saying so many nice things on this wine, because obviously, Meredith, as you knew, this wine was exclusively to the fine dining and the great hotels and restaurants. So through the sales of this wine now, we're really helping the Sommelier Foundation that was started at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, great. That's right. We partnered on that Somm relief. That's right.
We partnered that together as well, and we donate a significant amount of money to them to help all those great people in the trade who've lost their job to hopefully be able to meet ends. So I'm very excited that we are doing that together as well.
That's right. Well, I miss seeing you in person and having you on our pages, but this is a good start. And are you going to bring back the Somm camp?
Absolutely, absolutely. The moment we can, we will. It's difficult on this one to do as a webinar because we're blending together, we're really creating wine.
No, you have to. Of course, you have to be there in person.
But Meredith, what makes you so creative, and what created this amazing, audacious spirits within you? So two questions in one.
Well, thank you for the compliment about being creative. I just try to put myself in your shoes. I try to put myself in the mind of what will excite a Somm or a wine buyer or a spirits buyer, because they can, they could be so bored of it. They have to, there's their day-to-day job. They have to see so many salespeople. What would make them excited? And it's education and entertainment. So I call it edutainment. So try to come up with ideas that are both educational, so they feel like they're learning something about the wine, where it's from, what the soil's like, the stuff we love to teach. But also, let's have some flair to it, which is your expertise. Let's give it some oomph. So that's why I think photography is so important. We're doing more in the webinars with the visuals. Whatever we can do to bring excitement and pleasure. There's excitement, pleasure, entertainment, a little bit of fantasy too, maybe. Building someone's career by putting them in a national magazine. I think that the buyers love that.
Give us an example of how you extend the publishing to practical seminars for education, as an example.
Well, each webinar brings about 7 or 8 wineries together. It could be winemakers, could be their educator. And we give them 10 minutes to speak, show maps, visuals. We love to taste along with them. So we do invite people to purchase the wine or reach their local distributor to get samples. And then we do a print recap story, and the print recap story with the maps that National Geographic provides as our partner brings it even more to life. So you've got the recording of the webinar you can watch anytime, where you have the experts speaking on the subject, but then you have our wine writers' viewpoint of what happened in that webinar that takes it a little sexier, a little more seductive on the words, and brings it into this visual format.
That's fantastic. And I had the opportunity to do some on the spirits as well as wine with you, and fascinating that 1-to-1 or 1 to 100 people in a room relationship is no replacement for education and communicating the radiation of the winery or the distillery. Thank you for doing those.
I mean, our readers, we top 50,000 with, excuse me, we top 50,000 people with each issue, but to get 200 people just to sit there and view is still an accomplishment in this digital world, when there's a lot of webinars going out right now.
So you just touched on a key word, digital world. How do you see the world of publishing, print, magazine? You touch, you feel, you sense, you caress You fall asleep with it, you get up with it. With digital media,
I think business-to-business magazines have more of a niche. I mean, we just have a place, and we're so targeted. Where consumer magazines, you know, I know with my experience with a consumer magazine, like a fashion magazine or an entertainment, I like to look at the movie magazines. You know, I'll flip through and you pick an article, you want to read it. But I can also look online and see what the latest Netflix reviews are.
yes.
If I really want to read up. But for wine and spirits, for the trade, we're telling the people what the trends are. We're an authority. So when people read our magazines, I think they take a different viewpoint than just flipping through a consumer publication. I'm hoping it sounds important.
Yeah, so you really believe, obviously, in the future of publishing, and you bullish.
I hope so. I mean, I'd like to be around for another decade at least with the magazines, and the fact that our base is growing, our subscriptions the print subscriptions are growing much faster than the emails, than the digital.
Yeah, that's telling a lot. So explain briefly how you write a lot. I'm very impressed about your writing style. Obviously,
That's nice.
now I love your editorials. Your passion is really writing, right?
No, my passion is the art of the deal.
Ah,
My passion is
I've heard
putting
that title before.
my passion is putting together the correct writer with the brand, and employing great writers around the world that write a lot better than I do, to tell the story. So I like the behind the scenes, just like in radio. I liked being behind the scenes better than on air.
Well, I got to tell you, you're an amazing personality on air. So we need to do a lot more of those.
Thank you.
So Meridith, a few more questions. What is now, after all those great accomplishments, what is your dream? Big question.
How much, at my age, how much more can we dream? I mean, what makes me happy on a day-to-day basis when it's not business is my dog. I have to have a dog in my life all the time. I love.
What kind of dogs do you have again?
I have an Australian cattle dog right now. My border collie passed away last year.
Yeah, I remember.
So I love her. Yeah, I love herding dogs. I think they're so smart and they're willing to learn. They're not stubborn. Just wonderful.
Unlike any husband for any ladies, right?
I'm sorry?
Unlike a husband.
Oh, Bill's a great guy.
Of course.
But as far as a dream, isn't that terrible that I just want to be happy and healthy. And that's my constant wish, is that my people around me are happy, healthy. That was my mom's philosophy. Just calm and cheerful and be happy where you are. Have a positive attitude.
Well, that's a great dream. That's a fabulous dream. I mean, you've achieved so much. You've accomplished a lot of them, from the muscle car to the publishing world. Now, Meridith, a lot of friends are with us tonight and will be viewing this all around the world. What would be the message for you as a final moment together tonight about anything you want to share to the world, or a message of encouragement or motivation to whoever is with us?
Oh, I think I want to believe that we're all resilient, and we need each other. We need to connect. We need to not be negative. There's been too much negativity lately, and I just pray that we'll all come out of this without a world of problems. I mean, it's almost like we're being taught a lesson spiritually right now. We're being punished for something, and instead of going down, we need to go up.
We're on our way, don't you think?
Oh, we are, yes. Wes. Yes.
Well, and we are positive, and you send us a lot of not only great message tonight, but as well incredible inspiration. What a path, Meridith, and congratulations for being, such a force in the wine world and the spirits world, because we're very fortunate to have you and to have this 5'4", extremely charming redhead with beautiful eyes and talented, dynamic lady who is really leading the trade of wine. So I want to raise my glass to your continued success.
2 glasses, okay.
Oh, of course. And thank you so much, Meredith, for being with us. And I cannot wait to hug you under the supervision.
I know. Till we see each other in person again.
Thank you, and see you soon. Thank you so much.
À bientôt.
À bientôt.